Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a very requested video. I've briefly mentioned this video in a few vlogs and just I guess around. I guess the word has gotten out. But basically I've been meaning to do this for a while. But it is a video on how I lost weight. It definitely fluctuated, but from March to now I've lost around 5 to 8 pounds. Like if I go up 2 pounds some day, go down 1 pound. So the 2 to 3 pounds just tend to fluctuate, but around 5 to 8 pounds. So a pretty significant amount, and it really wasn't purposeful. It was just kind of like I'll kind of explain my journey and kind of the shifts I made and kind of now how I've realized how it all happened and how it happened in a very healthy way. I didn't count my calories at all. I wasn't like tracking my food like a psycho. Like I wasn't, not that psycho, but like I wasn't like, you know, being super obsessive or anything like that. I was very chill. I was going with the flow. I was just paying attention to my body and how I've really lost weight and how, I don't know, like I feel great. I feel so energetic. I feel amazing all the time, and like just, I don't know, I feel full of life, and I feel like I should share the kind of like little tips or tricks or secrets or whatnot that I've learned along the way. So I'll just hop on into the video. If you want more specific like stuff, you can definitely check out. I have like a booty workout routine, and then I'll talk about the other fitnessy stuff I do, but this is more, I would say, about, I hate using the word diet, but kind of like my food and stuff like that, because your nutrition is really everything in fitness, and people forget that. People work out. There's a girl at my spin class, like, no, she's great, but she works out, like, she spins 3 times a day, but then eats really badly, and so, like, she's like, oh, like, I'm not losing weight that well, and people just really forget. People say, like, abs are made in the kitchen, but it's so true. It really is what food you're eating. Like, you could be working out a shit ton but not eating well, and the results will not be the same as someone who's working out a ton less but eating really clean. But we'll just get into that. So I started, so basically around March, I was still vegan for like, what, over a year. I would say I was eating pretty clean, at least from what I thought. I mean, I would say I thought I was eating pretty clean. But then I basically started discovering a bunch of stuff. So the first thing I just started doing was drinking lemon water in the morning. I started by doing like a little mason jar. I would end up drinking like 2, but basically you can do the research on each individual thing I do and like why it's so great, because if I sat here and explained every single thing, it would take me like all day. But lemon water in the morning, obviously getting hydrated in the morning is good. Lemon water is really good for your, I think it's like your immune system, for your energy levels, a ton of health benefits. I do it because it definitely made me feel a lot better. So I would wake up in the morning, the first thing I would do is have 2 glasses from a regular mason jar. Now I've upgraded to like a liter mason jar, and I drink one as soon as I wake up. I have another tip I could add in here. Like, let me add that to my list. This is like random, but it's good. So yeah, I started doing that. That was like the first thing I started adding into my routine, and I started immediately feeling so much better. Everyone says drink a ton of water, drink a ton of water. But water does make such a big difference. I drink so much water in a day. I don't really track it, but I drink like probably a gallon a day of water if I were to estimate, because I have a liter mason jar and I probably drink like 4 a day. I just kind of always have it out, and I'm constantly refilling it every chance I get from like a big water bottle. And I find that water just, it helps so much. When you're dehydrated, you just feel like tired, groggy, not energetic, etc. So start with the water thing. Literally just buy, every time you go to the grocery store, buy a few lemons, cut it in half. There's different ways to do it. Some people, I used to use like a thing where you go like this to get the lemon juice out, or you can cut it in half and just squeeze. I do whatever I feel, honestly. If I'm feeling like getting the thing out, I'll do that. Sometimes I'll just cut it and squeeze and put it in the water. But that's the first thing. Small steps, right? Like, you don't need to overwhelm yourself. When you're gonna go on like a journey, don't like psych yourself out. Don't set insane, I mean, okay, so I'm a 0 to 100 person. It's kind of like if I'm about to do something, I just like go full force into it, but not everyone's like that. Like, if I decide I want to do something, I go like to the extreme, like 0 100. Like, I want to be healthy, I like go to the max, but that doesn't work for everyone. Like, it's probably not the most efficient way to do it, but it's what works for me. I don't know, Gemini probs. But start small. You can start incorporating a bunch of this stuff. So that's what the first thing I started incorporating on top of my food. Then I started, basically I found KGMTL through my friend Allie here on YouTube, and she's just, and it was an Instagrammer. I think she makes videos now too. She's very into like clean eating. So what I started doing is I did her 2-week challenge, which was no processed food, no refined sugar. It was like no, I think it might have been no gluten or like limited gluten. What else? I'm trying to think. I don't even remember what it was because I'm not eating that stuff anymore. Yeah, like no refined sugar, no processed food. no, obviously no dairy. I mean, I was already vegan, so like no meat, no dairy for me. I don't know if hers included no meat, no dairy, but I was already not eating that. So basically, in terms, like I was just eating like cooked vegetables or fruits and grains, things like that. I wasn't ever eating anything out of a bag, because I was still, sometimes when I was lazy, would eat like Trader Joe's like things, or like stuff like that, like the goizas or whatever, but that's so, it's not healthy for you. So it's processed and frozen and has so many chemicals that are really just obviously not good for you. But I was just, I don't know, I just kind of was like lazy, or I just wanted a quick thing to make. But I basically cut all of that out. So that was like probably the biggest thing that I think that shifted for me, was doing that. So I still, right now, I wouldn't say I'm gluten-free. The gluten thing I'm very light on. I still eat like Ezekiel bread, which is a sprouted grain, so it's healthy for you. I'll still have like cookies, if like vegan cookies, and if they have gluten in them. I try to avoid it. Like if I see a gluten-free option, I'll do it, but I don't watch that as carefully as like I am to watch other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely never consume dairy or meat. I don't eat processed foods at all, or like chips and all that stuff. Like you have to check if they're processed. Like there is ones that aren't as badly processed. You can get very into this, but this is like a general synopsis. Like there's a lot of like at Whole Foods, like I'll grab the, what are those called, like the Terra chips, the Terra, like the ones that have like cut up beets and like butternut squash, that type of vibe, you know. So, and also there's this chip brand that I know Allie and KG really like. Probably it's called like Siesta, I think, and they have like a lime flavor, and those I'm pretty sure aren't really processed. The ingredient list is like 3 things. If you want to just look at your ingredient list. But that was the biggest thing for me. I'm probably not explaining it that well, but just stop eating, like I don't ever really eat like fast food ever or anything like that, so that was already kind of cut out. I'm sorry that it's like hard for me to track my thoughts, but I'm trying to explain this to someone if like you're just starting from like eating whatever to like get to this. It's kind of like hard to explain because I was already eating pretty good, so for me the adjustment wasn't crazy. But it's like no fast food, no, like you would be eating like hot Cheetos or like the bad chips like Doritos or shit like that. Nothing like frozen. I was like frozen fruit's fine, but like frozen pre-made food, pre-packaged food, no dairy, no meat, no refined sugar. Basically that was the biggest thing for me. That changed, I feel like that's I think where most of my weight loss really came from. I think a ton of it came from that. So that's what I started doing. I still live like that. I feel great. I wake up energetic. I have energy throughout the day. I'm very fit. I feel great. So I would highly recommend trying any of that out or adapting to that slowly. Next, I started drinking kombucha every day. So when did I start drinking kombucha? Probably in like June. I started drinking kombucha every single day, and I thought, because gut health, very important, you can research that, but I genuinely love the taste of kombucha. I was already drinking, no actually I'm lying, I was drinking kombucha for a really long time. I started drinking it every day though in June. I was drinking it like probably 3 times a week. Probably since like the beginning of this year, honestly. Yeah, I remember I discovered it like last summer. So I was drinking kombucha pretty often, and then I ended up doing it every single day, which I feel like helped with my skin also. I feel like it really helped clear up my skin, and I feel like it made my digestion a lot better, as in like you just like poop a lot easier, so that was really great. So I feel like the kombucha is a great additive. If you watch my vlogs, you know, like we have kombucha hour, like we all have kombucha every day. It's a whole thing. Then for working out, I do go to cycling class every single day. Sometimes I take Sunday off, and so that's definitely like a big part of it as well. I mean, doing a cardio every single day. I personally love working out every day. Like, I don't know, like I genuinely enjoy it. I mean, yes, there's times where I'm tired and I don't want to go, but I do want to go at the same time. So I figure that finding a workout that you like, that works for you, that's fun for you is important. Because I feel like people have this idea of going to the gym and it's just like boring and like annoying and not fun. Do classes. I mean, I'm fortunate if you live in LA, like get class pass. There's so many cool classes. Like I'm going to like a kickboxing class soon, but I love taking classes. For me, I love going to spin every day because I'm like, I know I love my studio, I like my instructors there, and I don't know, I just like the workout, so I'm kind of adapted to it. But I do try, my schedule is very busy, but when I do have ever an opening, I do try to incorporate a new class. So like I try like a Pilates class, or I'll do like the climb at Rise Nation or things like that, you know. But I think the working out is very important. Also for me, it's really important for like my, I don't know, I feel like it, for your mental health, like you feel so much better. If I don't work out, I immediately notice the difference in how I'm thinking. Like when I work out, I feel clear, I feel happy. Like Elwood said, happy people don't kill people. Like you just feel good, I feel alive, I feel regenerated, I feel like my mood is more stabilized. When you're a Gemini, you gotta have that mood stabilization. So yeah, I don't know, if you like just running on the treadmill, that's great. Like I used to do that years ago and it was fine. If you like maybe like a dance class, like get a gym membership and take Zumba classes. If your gym has spin classes, take spin classes. I mean, I hope your instructor is good. It really depends on the instructor, but they're so fun. Such a great workout. You literally feel like you're like at the, I don't even like going to club ever. I don't want to say never, or never, whatever. I don't really like going to the club, but when you're at spin, you feel like you're like dancing. It's like you're like having so much fun. You're getting like the best workout in. You get to wear cute outfits. Like, it's just such a great time. So I try to find a workout, whether you do 3 times a week, 5 times a week, or every day, that you enjoy. Like, I think that's also a big part. I don't think I would be where I am without that. Then I started also doing weights. I did train with a trainer for like 2 months, and it was fine, but I figured everything I was I personally did not see the benefit, because everything I was doing were very simple workouts that I could have done on my own. So now I just do them on my own, and I basically just do some, I have like a butt workout routine. I do a ton of those workouts, kind of the ones that everyone knows, but after spin, I come home, I do like a 15-minute flow of legs, because at spin we do arms already, and like if I ever feel compelled, like I'll go down to, I have a gym in my apartment, so I'll go do some arms if I feel like it, but mostly I just do the butt workouts. Check an updated video on those. Then the next thing is Bulletproof Coffee. I started doing this in June-ish. Basically, it's, if you search my vlog channel and then Bulletproof Coffee, so daily Polina Bulletproof Coffee. In one of my vlogs, I make it step by step. But it's basically this coffee you make that you need to drink 1 cup a day. It gives you so much energy, it gives you mental clarity. It's really great. I'm about to make some tonight because I have kind of like an event and a long day ahead. Not a long day, but like still a lot of stuff to do. Mostly I always make it in the morning. I, however, do not put the ghee in it, so if you're vegan, you can skip that. I find it still works great, and if you're not vegan, then feel free to put the ghee in. So that's been really great as well. It's also really good if you're into fasted cardio to drink this and then go work out. I personally like working out at not at night, but like in the evening. But on the weekends, I do work out in the morning just so I can wake up. Because I don't want to, you mean like in the evenings on weekends, I'm usually doing something or going to an event or whatever, so hanging out with friends. So I try to work out early morning to get my day started. And the last thing is activated charcoal. This is something so small, but if you ever do slip up, or like, okay, people are asking like, what if you're going out to eat, like, and they use butter or something like that? It's definitely hard. Obviously, when I'm going to a vegan restaurant, they're careful, and I know what I'm eating is fine, but sometimes when you go out to eat, your stuff is cooked in like a ton of oils and a ton of butter, and like, you never know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm careful, but I'm also not super annoying. Like, I'm sure there's been multiple times where I've had butter in my food that I've eaten, and I immediately feel the effects of that the next morning when I wake up. Like, once you start eating super clean, or if you also eat super clean, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but if you eat out, you feel it. Like, there's no other way to explain it. You just feel so different. Like, I don't feel as energized or clear or clean. And people who have been eating, like, if you've been eating not that healthy for a long time, or you've been eating processed for a long time, or you've been eating like buttery foods for a long time, how you feel, you think that how you feel is normal, but you don't know how much better you can feel. I always tell people who are asking me about like transitioning into eating clean and stuff, they're like, but I feel like I feel fine. I'm like, you think you feel fine now? Like, imagine how incredible you're gonna feel when you do this. Like, I thought I felt fine when I was eating vegan. I was eating like all organic. Oh, also, small thing, I personally eat all organic. That's up to you. But I was already eating like pretty clean. Like, yeah, I was eating like the bags. I thought I felt, I was like, I was still going to spin every day. I was like eating good, and then I was like, I don't really need to do this. And then when I saw how incredible I feel now, it's like unbelievable. So I can't even imagine if like you're just not even eating, like you're eating dairy and processed foods, like it's gonna be, you can feel so much better. It's not a very personal attack. Like, I just genuinely want everyone to feel their best. Like, imagine how incredibly you could feel. Like, that's what always motivates me. I'm like, how I feel is like how my day goes, how you feel, or how like affect the thoughts you think. The thoughts you think affect your whole life. Like, personally, I just feel like it's all integrated, mind, body, soul. So that's that. But activated charcoal you can take in the morning. Also, you can take it if you like drink, obviously, like not if you're drinking a ton. Like, let's say you have a glass of wine or two in the morning. Taking activated charcoal will also help with that. It basically sucks out the toxins and then you poop it out. But I've noticed if I ever like, there's like a restaurant I really love in LA, it's called Kettle Black, and their food's like, I feel like they use butter in it. Every time I eat it, it's so good. And I'll get like cauliflower, I'll get like vegan stuff, but I feel like they definitely put like, I don't know, even when I'm like, oh, like, is this with butter? And they're like, no, like, I swear they still probably use it. Every time the next morning, I just feel like, but as soon as I take the activated charcoal with my water, I feel so, it like clears out of you and you feel good again. So I know that was kind of a lot of stuff. It was a lot to go through. I'm sure I also probably didn't explain it in the best, most cohesive way. It's just hard for me to like try to explain so much, you know, in one. Again, like I'm and the thing is, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't count my calories. I'm not like tracking my food. I eat when I'm hungry. Like I genuinely, some days I eat so much, like, and people probably think like, oh yeah, okay, like genuinely, like I eat so much, and some days I honestly didn't eat a lot. I really listen to my body, and for me it doesn't feel restrictive. Like this is my lifestyle. Like I love cooking. I love getting fresh produce and making like delicious meals that I know are nourishing my body. I don't feel like I'm like on a diet. I'm like restrictive and I can only eat this. Like I'm like, you can eat what once you eat healthy, you want to make good decisions for your body. Like why would I want to put processed food into my body? It's gonna make me feel shitty. Like it just, once you get into, I don't know, explain it, like this mindset, it's just like I crave like fruits, like I crave vegetables, I crave a juice, I crave a good smoothie, like I want to cook fresh like butternut squash zoodles with like toasted Ezekiel bread. Like I crave food that's like nourishing and delicious and makes me feel good. Like I don't ever want like chips, like, and then, or like, you know what I mean, like I'm not out here like, oh I want this awful thing. You just don't, because you know how it makes you feel. You know what I mean? And like there's so many substitutes. Like there's a chart online and people talk about this, but if like you're craving this, here's like a healthy alternative. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm craving something savory, carrots and hummus or things like that, you know what I mean? I know this is like a very touchy subject, and let's just say this disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a personal trainer. This is my experience. I get scared talking about this. That's why I've been kind of putting up this video for so long, but this is just my experience. This is what I do. I feel great. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do one thing. You can do everything. You can do one thing. Hopefully this video was helpful, but I think it's just mostly when you just start caring about what you're putting into your body, you just become more mindful, and then you can kind of like go with the flow of your body and make good choices, and then it's not crazy. Like if I want to eat 7 vegan cookies, like I will, but you know what I mean, but so I'm not restrictive, and I feel like that's what's really good. But I also don't think there's anything wrong. People do like to count their calories and track their food, and when I was doing training, I was tracking my food, but like I was eating the same thing every day, so it was like, anyway, if you want to more updates, I'd follow me on my vlog channel. I try to share recipes on there, what I'm eating, whenever I feel inclined to. But yeah, I know this is kind of a long video, so I'll just stop talking now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, leave them down below. Hopefully I can answer them for you. And yeah, I think I addressed everything. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
So sugarcoat me in your energy. Sugarcoat me in your fresh energy. Like a breeze in the sauna. Yeah, I can get whatever when I wanna. Yeah, trying to get around and beyond the candy that's around Willy Wonka.